Hello, everyone. My name's Emily Greenblatt, and we are live at ApplyBoard. Thanks for joining us today, whether it's morning, afternoon, or maybe late at night. We're happy to have you here. These first 2 weeks in August, we are talking about making the big move. So traveling to your country of choice to begin your studies, all the way from pre-arrival to arriving on campus. And today we're focusing on the United States. So we are joined today by two colleagues at Northern Arizona University in Flagstaff, Arizona. Thanks for joining us, Maria and Lumini. Before we get started, I'd love to hear a little about both of you and what you do at NAU.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for having us. My name is Maria Sewell, and I'm the Inbound Exchange Coordinator at Northern Arizona University. And what that means is I work with all of our incoming exchange students from partner universities around the world who come to NAU on semester-long or year-long exchange programs.
Hi, so I'm Lumini. I'm a transfer student from Sri Lanka, and I'm a mechanical engineering student who's going to start the senior year starting this fall.
Wonderful. Thanks to both of you. And today we'll be talking about Northern Arizona's International Friends Program, or iFriends, and how that program helps students get involved and stay connected to campus community. So, Maria, I'd like to start with you by just asking a little about what iFriends is and what role does it play in helping international students connect with others on campus.
Yeah, so you gave us a great introduction, Emily. The International Friends Program is designed to connect international students with other international students and domestic students for that intercultural exchange. And this means that it's a great opportunity for students to improve their English skills when they get here, or perhaps another language if you have group mates in your iFriends group that speak different languages that you're learning as well. It's another way to learn more about diverse cultures and backgrounds from your group members. And it's especially important and beneficial to students because it gives them a support network and a built-in friend group, if you will, because you have a bunch of students who are together in this one group who are new students, who are continuing students at NAU from around the world and around the United States, who agree to be part of this group to support each other and have fun with each other around campus and the NAU community.
That sounds great. I know support on campus is really important to students, especially as they begin their journey on a new campus. The language is a barrier, the culture is a barrier, etc. So that sounds really useful. And I'm curious to hear a little bit more about how the iFriends groups are formed and what the structure looks like.
Yeah, so the iFriend groups are diverse in nature because what we have is we have an application for students who want to be iFriends leaders. So in each group, we have about 15 students in each iFriends group, and each group has 3 or 4 leaders. And these leaders are students who are not new to NAU. They've been here at least a semester or a year. They could be international students at the undergraduate level or graduate level, and same with domestic students from the United States. And those group leaders have diverse interests and backgrounds, different majors at the university, and different interests that they can bring to the group. And then the group members, the other friends in the group, are mostly new students, but also some continuing students from around the world, again, from diverse backgrounds and majors and such. And the idea there is so that you can meet people outside of your program. I think that's important for students. If I'm studying engineering, for example, it's pretty likely that I'll make more engineering friends on campus from my classes. And in iFriends, our hope is that you'll meet some different people with different interests that can kind of take you outside of perhaps your comfort zone, but also that you can connect with. And when we're building the groups, we're also looking at what the group leaders enjoy doing. So let's say the 3 of us are group leaders together, and I'm making an assumption now about us all, but Emily, let's say that you're really into hiking and outdoors things. And Lumini, you're super into sports, and especially volleyball. And perhaps I really like cooking and watching movies or something. We'd make a great team as leaders because we all bring something different to the group, and our interests come together to hopefully meet many of the interests of the people in our group.
That sounds great. And does the group itself decide on the activities?
Yeah, so when they're participating, we'll have different events put on by the Center for International Education that the iFriends groups attend. But the idea is also that students in those groups, the leaders will say, hey, this weekend we're having a barbecue, or this weekend we're going on a hike together, and the group members all go do something together. It might also be like, hey, let's go to the soccer game, the women's soccer game this weekend. Students have access to free tickets, so it's a good way to get out and do things on campus that are already going on, but also a way to be creative and have fun in ways that are interesting to the leaders and also the group members in the iFriends group.
Right. What a great program. I love that. So a more general question, and iFriends is just one of many programs on NAU's campus I know of. Why is it important for international students to get involved in extracurricular activities on campus?
So I'll take that question, and I think I have a good answer. From my exposure that I had while my stay here, when considering a U.S. higher education system, it's not just about learning and growing in academia, but also learning how to involve with other people from the outer world, and everyone else was not interested in the same things that you are interested in. That's some key points that you have to consider when you're going for a job and maybe something else and making your group big. So the connections you build inside the university among your friend groups are the most beneficial when it's come to adjusting to the surrounding. And I totally understand the international students are coming from different places. So it's very, very important to get involved as much as you're getting involved in your studies and everything else.
Right. I totally agree, Lumini. And what's your experience been getting involved at NAU?
So I came here amidst the pandemic. Everything went on a lockdown right after like 2 months I came here. But even within that 2-3 months, I went to Suites. It's a on-campus housing option. Okay. And from there onwards, I made few friends, and from that point onwards, I keep growing. And so first thing I did was I went for the rush week and I joined a sorority, and I have to say it helps a lot for me to grow as a leader, as the person who I am. And at the moment, I'm the alumni relations chair in my chapter, and also I'm working here at Center for International Education as a student worker, and before that I was working at the facility services and so on. Also, I had the opportunity to work as a research student, so all that, it's had been so great even amid the pandemic and all that going on.
Wow, that's amazing how involved you've gotten despite COVID getting in your way. I'm so impressed. You know, a nice thing about U.S. institutions is every institution has a number of extracurriculars, and whether it's Greek life or student working or volunteering, sports, clubs, etc., there's something for everybody on a U.S. campus, because that's something that we really emphasize in the U.S. is those extracurriculars. And Maria, back to you. I'm curious, as an international student advisor, what are tips you'd give to international students when they come to campus? What do you find most helpful for international students when they're arriving and, getting acclimated?
Well, I mean, I can't even say it better than Lumini. I think she just summed it up pretty amazingly. But I think what you hear when Lumini talks is that it could be really perhaps easy for a student to arrive on campus and just kind of be in a tunnel of going to class, doing their homework, and going to class and doing more homework because there's so much to do in your classes, and not getting outside of that. And I think the risk with that is you really do get in that tunnel vision and you can feel pretty isolated. But also, like Lumini's mentioned, that if you're not getting outside of your academics, it can really hold you back when it comes to building your network, your professional and personal network, and increasing your intercultural communication skills. All of these things are really important once we get outside of the classroom. And even in the classroom, right? We're working with our colleagues, we're working with our peers on group assignments and group projects. And if you have that confidence in yourself and your language skills, and being part of a group from your outside interactions, it makes the classwork easier too. So my tip to students is to get involved. So universities across the country have club fairs and job fairs and all of these different fairs at the beginning of the semester. And I would encourage every student to go to these and just check it out, see what's out there, and pick one group or more. Like really, you might be like, oh my goodness, there's so many opportunities. How do I have enough time to do all the things I'm interested in? But go to these club fairs, these job fairs, and especially with the clubs and organizations, pick at least one. Like promise yourself that one group that you're going to take the jump and go to that club's first meeting, perhaps. And I think that another thing to keep in mind is many students will go through an orientation process. Our students at NAU, they come to NAU and they have a week-long international student orientation. And in this time, they have a chance to make some friends, right? I met you while I was in line getting coffee during our session, and now we're friends. And you can ask your friends from orientation, other international students, hey, I found this hiking club at NAU, or I found this, baking club. All the different clubs, there are so many different ones. And I'd really like to go. Will you come with me? If you don't want to go to that first meeting alone, take advantage of having your friends that you've made or acquaintances you've made during orientation to go with you. But the biggest tip is to get out and get involved on the campus, because you'll have a really fulfilling and fun time. I think you'll be so busy with your academics and all the extracurriculars you're doing and the fun adventures you're going on. And that's really, like Emily's mentioned, it's a huge part of the U.S. Higher education system. Is a lot of what you're going to learn and a lot of what you're going to do is going to be outside of the classroom. As much as we emphasize the importance of going to class and doing the work there, you're going to learn so much about yourself, so much about the world, and even so much about the content that you're learning in the classroom by being involved outside of it. So get out, get involved, be brave and take that step. I'm someone who's really nervous to go to a first club or something, to be the new person. But at the beginning of the semester, everybody's new. So you have a chance to just join in with all these other new people. And if you don't like the club, you don't have to go back. Pick a new one after that. So get out, get involved, and if you need help, reach out to your international student support office, and perhaps they have some suggestions, or an iFriends program like us to help you get connected.
Maria, I could not agree more. I know that it can be quite awkward at the beginning of the year being the new person, but you made a great point that everyone's the new person at the start of the year. So I really appreciate that response. Lumini, do you have anything to add as we wrap up about tips for international students to get involved on campus?
Oh, I guess Maria covered everything. But one last thing. I've seen that so many students, as she said before, they're in their comfort zone. They're scared to go out. They feel like, maybe this is not for me, even before trying that. So please be open-minded. No one is going to judge you. You can try new things. You can live a bit more, I would say. So enjoy that time.
Thanks, Lumini. This has been so great to chat with both of you. Again, Maria and Lumini are at Northern Arizona University in Flagstaff, Arizona, and we've been talking about the iFriends program and other ways to get involved on campus for international students. Thank you both for joining me. It's been fun.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, everyone, I hope you found this helpful, making the big move to the US, all the way from pre-arrival to arriving on campus. Again, we want to encourage you to get involved on campus, get involved early, get involved often, and we wish you a wonderful experience. Thank you for attending. Please subscribe to our channel and find us next week on Facebook and YouTube Live. Thanks, everybody.